Welcome back to The Road Ahead with AJ. One of my viewers recently left a comment asking what's a basic toolkit to have for your bike. The easiest answer is there is no easiest answer. The thirst for tools is never ending, and even though you might have all the tools you need, you will always see a newer tool in the market that offers some extra functionality. And yep, it's a never ending thing. You'll end up researching it and you will always want newer tools. And once you go down that rabbit hole, it can get very overwhelming. You'll always be wondering whether you have the tools necessary or not. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about the tools that I have and what's a basic toolkit you need depending on the kind of work you intend to do on your bike. So let's get started. Basic stuff. You should have spanners that are specific to your bike. Now I bought Stanley, and because I had heard they're very reliable, so I bought the entire range of spanners, both the C-type and the ring type, because I had a cast iron bullet and I wasn't sure which spanners I needed, so I just went ahead and bought them all. But what you should do is make sure you know what sizes are on your bike and accordingly buy those spanners. Now again, if you're not going to be working on your engine but just on the peripheral things of your bike, you don't need to buy all of them. Just measure out each one and get those specific spanners. The toolbox provided with your bike should give you an idea of the sizes of spanners you will need. A quick note, these are very old spanners, like I bought them 10 years back, so I don't even have the link for, there was no Amazon that time, but I'll provide a link in the description. Note that these spanners are very rounded here, but newer ones come with actually a six-sided holding, whatever you call it. So with that, what happens is you don't run the risk of rounding out your bolt or your nut compared to this. So that might be an option to look into. For example, for my KTM 390 Adventure, if I want to tighten up the chain slack, those specific spanners are not provided in the toolkit given in the bike. So for those, I need a 22 on one side and a 27 on the other side. So you might want to look at your bike and see what kind of spanners you need in case you decide to do this kind of work on your bike. The other thing is, with ring spanners, make sure that it's a 12-point ring spanner. Like I said, for the C spanner, you should look for a 6-side. For the ring spanner, try to find the 12-pointed one. It'll again help with preserving the long life of your bolts and your nuts. The next thing you should have in your toolbox is screwdrivers. So the first thing you should always have is a flathead. I have this long one because it makes access easier in case you have to reach into your bike. So a flathead always, and always have a Phillips or what's commonly known as a star screwdriver. And additionally, I also keep this tiny one. This is actually a tester as well, an electrical tester. The small one's actually useful when you have to tune a carburetor. So that's up to you. And of course, pliers. Pliers are very useful for gripping things, for cutting small wires if you need to. This is called a needle nose plier because it's got a pointed nose. And this is again Stanley. My screwdriver is also a Stanley, so I'll leave a link in the description. Most new bikes tend to have Allen bolts rather than the conventional 6-sided bolt. So an Allen key set is important. With the Allen key set, you can just buy this off a hardware store, and I'll also leave a link in the description. Just make sure that when you buy these, try and buy the ones that have an end with a ball head. This is convenient because sometimes you might want to reach into a space where you will not be able to access it, and this allows you to work on the bolt at an angle. Alright, so I mean, if you have a ratchet set with all the Allen keys that you need, that works as well. But again, this is stuff I bought really long back, so I have these and I like using them. I hopefully will get a ratchet set soon. The next thing in my toolkit is this impact driver. It's quite heavy and I personally think it's been a very good buy. I realized this when working on the GT. Since it's an old bike, it's not been used much. A lot of the bolts were rusted into place and there was no way to get them out, and this impact driver made quick work of them. Now, as the name suggests, the impact driver actually works by you put in the correct bit, you hold it onto the screw or the bolt and you hit it with a hammer, and with the impact the front head turns. Now this is bidirectional, it can turn either clockwise or anti-clockwise depending on what you're working on. It's been a blessing and it costs about 1,000 rupees. It comes with some basic bits, which are two types of Phillips heads and two flatheads. So a word of caution. Don't use regular bits that you get with your ratchet set on this, because these bits are meant to take the impact of a hammer. Those might not, and you might just end up breaking them. The next thing, a hammer. A hammer is always useful to obviously hammer things. Now you can get different types of hammers. I got a second one, which is a plastic headed one. This is softer because it's useful when you don't want the impact to leave a mark. For example, if you're hitting aluminium. If you hit aluminium with steel, you're gonna definitely leave marks on your engine casing or while fitting bearings into the engine casing. I haven't worked on engine casings, but then I use this for the impact driver, because again the impact driver is gonna get dented if I use the steel hammer. So if you don't have any specific use, just get a regular hammer. The next thing in my toolkit is this torque wrench. Now a torque wrench again is only needed if you're going to be working on your engine. I got this from a friend who's an astrophysicist / engineer, and this one goes from 14 to 68 Newton meters, which is a very good range to work on most bikes. Most of the things will need a torque range in this given range of 14 to 68. I got this when I was adding handlebar risers, and it's going to be useful for me now that I'll be working on the GT and replacing the chain sprocket, etc. This is really not necessary unless you really intend to spend a lot of time taking your engine apart, putting it back together, etc. Next is a ratchet. Now those of you who are familiar with tools must be wondering, why am I having such a big bulky ratchet? This is again borrowed from my same astrophysicist friend, and he gave it to me for use because he's not using it currently. But you can get much sleeker and smaller ratchet sets in the market today. Namely, I know Stanley and Taparia have them, which won't be as bulky and might be easier to carry for trips as well. There's a whole study you can do behind the size of the head. This is a 1/2 inch head. You get 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch, but the most common is 1/4 inch head, so just go with that. It'll be simpler. Some of the other stuff I have is non-essential, like small bleeding pipes. I also have a big syringe, the one that's used to inject cows and horses. I use that to pull out brake fluid or to pull out extra engine oil from the engine. But the really non-essential one that I like is this monkey wrench, or I don't know how you call it. So it can be extended to for any size of a bolt, and I found this very useful. Sometimes when you just don't have a spanner that you need, you just get this out, get it to the correct size, and you have another spanner. That's it for my toolkit. Now let's talk about a basic toolkit that you should have for your bike, whether it be an adventure bike or any touring bike that you have, unless it's one of those big BMWs or Triumphs. What goes into a basic toolkit? Now start with the toolkit that came with your bike. It'll give you a decent idea of the sizes of either bolts or Allen keys that you will need. Now most toolkits that come with bikes will not give you the spanners to loosen the axle and tighten up the chain slack. So you might want to look into getting either C or ring type spanners that will help you loosen the axle for the back to do the chain slack tightening, and for the front, if you're going to be touring and you have a puncture, you want to be able to take the tire off yourself. that's up to you. Second, get some pliers. They're just super handy for either the nose type or the regular type. They're really handy for all kinds of things, and you will never regret having them on you. They're not that bulky. They don't take up much space either. Third, screwdrivers. Again, have a flathead, Phillips. Those two should be enough for you. The length or the how short or long you want to buy, that's totally up to you. Lastly, I've seen a lot of new bikes also have these Torx screws on them or bolts. So if your bike has those, go ahead and buy those as well. A final message, what I have listed is Stanley tools, which I have had a good experience with, but please go and buy whatever's in your budget. Do not get carried away by people who say that, oh, you should only buy this one irrespective of what it costs. Look at your budget, look at how much you can afford, and just get those. Lastly, you don't have to buy everything at once. Prioritize what you need first, get that, and slowly build your toolkit. Like, my toolkit has been built over the last 10 years, and as the famous saying goes, Rome was not built in a day. So I'll leave you with that. Stay tuned for more videos on the road ahead with AJ. Until then,
Dream on, ride on, and helmet always on.